Hi, this is Angela Smith, Managing Director of This Is Milk, and this is Angela Talks. Today's topic is being the boss when you're not the boss. So I talk about this a lot when I talk to business analysts and when I do business analysis training, because a business analyst specifically is a role in an organization that is often in a leadership capacity. You are having to lead hearts and minds, you're having to gain consensus, you're having to talk to people from every level of an organization and build a relationship with them because you need them to do something for you or you need them to agree with something, which ultimately is leadership. The thing with being a business analyst, though, is you are not a boss, right? You don't have that title of the boss and the power that comes with that. So you're having to be very, very clever about using those leadership abilities on a day-to-day thing. And more in organizations, as we evolve as a species, as we evolve as learning organizations, there's less top-down hierarchical management and much more matrix style. Now, the thing is, neuroscience and anthropology tells us that actually the human species has evolved to like hierarchy. Hierarchy makes us really comfortable, and that's because that's how it used to work for us as a species. But as we are evolving, it's not working for us as much, and hierarchy actually diminishes psychological safety in organizations. So we're in this weird part of the evolution right now where our archaic brain is telling us we need a boss, we need a hierarchy that makes us feel comfortable. But what we need to achieve as humanity is no longer helped by that old style of thinking. So we're now in this world where we're all kind of trying to be like leaders without leaders. We want to look to the boss for an answer, but we want to speak up. And it's a little bit difficult right now because you know what? It takes 3 generations to actually change something in humanity, right? And we're not there yet. So how do you be a boss when you're not the boss? Right. Well, first and foremost is you have to build rapport with people and you have to build relationships with them. And the best way to do that isn't to walk in and say, I think you're wrong about this thing, albeit your opinion might be great. The best way to have debate and gain consensus with somebody is to find a common ground first. So whenever you're having a conversation with someone and you're trying to get them over to the way you're thinking, like a business analyst has to do, or somebody who's having to be the boss without being the boss, is to find a common ground. Diary of a CEO, that's where I got that one from. So that's Steve Bartlett. You can go look at that one. It's on his podcast. Finding that common ground means that you're suddenly having a conversation where you're both there for the same purpose. Okay, so finding what that is, and even if that's on a personal level, so building the relationships with people, it's like, oh, actually, we might be very different. We come from very different backgrounds, but we both like netball. We both like breads meet breads, right? You can find something that gives you that common ground with somebody. And this is really important as well, as we know that the data, the financial data tells us that diverse teams are really important for innovation, for financial success as ever. But let's just say something here that's really hard for people to admit. Managing diversity is actually harder. It is harder because everybody is coming from different backgrounds. We don't necessarily have as much common ground. And what we need to do is find those common grounds to build relationships. But what we need in order to get the best of having those diverse teams is having psychological safety, where people feel like they can speak up, be themselves, and actually bring to work all of that diversity of thought that we have. Now, that's all very difficult to do. But things that you can do to kind of improve your leadership capability in those diverse teams is asking people that are maybe lesser heard, maybe quieter, maybe an introvert, how do they feel first? That's going to improve your leadership capability through that, but also make their voice heard. And this managing in diverse organizations is very, very tricky. And it's very much more about you listening and trying to find ways of surfacing other people's views rather than being the person that speaks all the time. My recommendation to anybody trying to build their leadership is actually to talk less, listen more.